I want to tell you something that might feel uncomfortable. Something that will make you shift in your chair and maybe glance at the ceiling, hoping the ceiling doesn't judge you as harshly as I will. I am a man who spent decades thinking he was untouchable. Untouchable by life, untouchable by consequences, untouchable by the slow erosion that happens when you think nothing you do matters. And now, sitting here in a chair I can barely stand from, breathing through a machine that my own body couldn't sustain on its own, I realize how wrong I was. It's not a riddle. It's not a parable or a metaphor. It's just negligence. Expensive, humiliating, irreversible negligence. And I don't want your pity. I don't want your soft assurances that it'll be okay. I want you to feel a spark of alarm, the same one that hit me after years of ignoring the signs, brushing off warnings, and believing that money, ambition, or sheer will could shield me from consequences I earned myself. For 30 years, I thought I was smart. I built a career that people admired. I negotiated deals that made my name sound bigger than it should have. I traveled for business, closed contracts over steak dinners, and watched numbers grow in my bank account the way most people watch grass grow in spring. My wife, Janet, and I raised 2 kids who are more remarkable than I ever deserved to raise. My son, Eli, writes code for a tech company I don't fully understand. My daughter, Sophie, teaches art at the local middle school. They call me every week, and I show up for birthdays, recitals, school plays, the ones where the child playing the lead has no rhythm and the piano accompaniment is off. I was present. I was reliable. I was a good father. And yet, I failed the one thing I should have never failed. I failed myself. I treated my body like a tool I could replace at any time. Like a car I could drive hard, skip oil changes, ignore the dashboard lights, and assume that when something broke, I just traded in for a newer model. My body whispered warnings for years. High blood pressure, rising blood sugar, fatigue at odd hours, shortness of breath that I chalked up to age or stress. And like a fool, I ignored it. I told myself I was fine. I told myself that because I could work 12-hour days and eat whatever I wanted, my machine was indestructible. Pulled pork at lunch, extra bourbon at dinner, fries with every meal, nights spent scrolling on my phone until 1 a.m. Then coffee at 5:30 to patch the hole I dug myself. Functional, yes. Alive, yes. Healthy? Not even close. Here's what nobody tells you about self-destruction. It doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks or sirens. It sneaks in quietly, day by day, meal by meal, skipped appointment by skipped appointment. One more late night, one more donut, one more skipped walk. Each is nothing. Each seems harmless. And then, decades later, it's everything. The consequences arrive not with a bang, but with a whisper and a chair you cannot rise from. Think about what you had for dinner yesterday. Did you choose it consciously? Or did you default to convenience, routine, comfort? I defaulted. For 30 years, I defaulted. I told myself it didn't matter, that I could always fix it later. That later never came. By the time I was 58, my kidneys were failing. Slowly, quietly, politely. And when the machine arrived, the one that would keep me alive, it was a shock. Not because I was unprepared financially, I had more than enough, but because I hadn't realized the cost of neglect wasn't measured in money. It was measured in time, in missed moments, in the little things that make life worth living. I watched my granddaughter, Lily, run across the yard. She's 2, fearless, unstoppable, and I want to run with her. I want to chase her, pick her up, swing her around. But I can't. My legs don't carry me. My back refuses. I stand and watch, feeling the gravity of 30 years of willful ignorance pressing on me, heavier than any machine ever could. That is the true tax of neglect, not a hospital bed, not a heart monitor, not a financial statement. It's a puddle in the backyard, a tiny hand reaching for yours and your inability to meet it. And now I speak to you, whoever you are, because I made this mistake. I thought I could cheat it. I thought discipline in business and family could cover the gaps I left in my own health. It can't. There's no business deal, no amount of money, no negotiation that can undo the damage done by decades of ignoring the simplest truths. Move. Eat better, sleep enough, check your body, and listen when it speaks. So here's what I need you to do. Look at your life with brutal honesty. Your fridge, your calendar, your habits. Pick one that you can change today. Book that appointment you've been avoiding. Walk around the block. Open the fridge and eat something real. One step. One small victory. That is your maintenance. That is how you prevent this. That is how you ensure that decades from now, when you watch a child laugh, you are not a spectator trapped behind the glass of your own negligence. Because here's the ugly truth. You only get one body, one life. It's the only property you own that you cannot sell, cannot replace, cannot trade. And if you treat it like a rental you don't inspect, you will pay the price. Not with money, not with excuses, not with sympathy. You will pay with your time, your independence, your joy. And one day, you'll realize that no amount of wealth, ambition, or pride can reclaim what you have ignored. Start today. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll get to it next week, next month, next year. Life is being measured in small decisions right now. And every small decision counts. I want to be honest with you about the little ways life catches up to you. You think 30, 40, 50, you have it all figured out. You think because you're disciplined in your career, punctual in your meetings, and attentive with your friends and family, that somehow your body and mind will remain untouchable. That somehow the machine inside you, the one that runs everything you care about, will never falter. It will falter. And it does quietly, without drama, without fanfare. One morning, you wake up and realize climbing a flight of stairs leaves you breathless. The coffee you used to drink with abandon now makes your stomach twist. The small twinges in your back and joints, the fleeting moments of dizziness, they're not random. They're warnings. And if you ignore them, they become consequences. I ignored mine. I laughed them off. I told myself I've got this. I'll handle it later. And later didn't come until it was too late. My heart, my liver, my kidneys, they all began to fail me in ways that no amount of money could fix. Machines can replace some functions. Transplants can repair some damage. But nothing can replace the time you lose with the people you love, the moments you cannot reclaim, the laughter you can no longer join. I remember one Saturday in particular. It was spring. The air smelled of rain and fresh grass. My daughter Sophie had brought her little boy, Max, to the park. He was barely 3, fearless, climbing everything in sight. And I wanted so badly to lift him onto the swings, to chase him across the grass, to feel the warmth of the sun on my face while he laughed. But I couldn't. My legs wouldn't bend the way they used to. My lungs wouldn't carry me. I watched from a bench, hands gripping the edges, heart heavy. And I realized, all those mornings I skipped stretching, all those nights I sat with bourbon instead of moving, all those lunches I replaced with fried food, had led to this bench. This helplessness. Money cannot buy that back. Not wealth, not charm, not connections. Time, health, mobility. These are the only currencies that truly matter, and they are not renewable. Every day you put off care. Every meal you default to convenience. Every skipped walk. Every late night. Every habit you justify. You are spending the most valuable currency you have without even noticing. Here's something else I learned the hard way. It's not enough to make one change. Not one walk, not one salad, not one appointment. You must rebuild habits. Daily, relentless, consistent habits. Because the machine inside you doesn't repair itself overnight. It doesn't forgive decades of neglect in a week or a month. It responds to cumulative effort, to persistent care, to disciplined maintenance. And even then, some damage may be irreversible. Some mistakes cannot be undone. But starting late is always better than never starting at all. I tried to negotiate with my body the same way I negotiated in real estate. I tried to cut corners, to find shortcuts, to convince myself that an hour at the gym once a month would balance out 20 years of neglect. It didn't. My body has no mercy for shortcuts. It doesn't care about your spreadsheets, your deals, your accolades. It only knows what you feed it, how you move it, how you treat it. And when it stops, it stops. Period. I want you to picture something. Your life 10 years from now. 10 years of deferred maintenance. 10 years of convenience over care. What does that look like? Not a story you tell at parties. Not a dramatic scene in a movie. Just a quiet reality. Struggling to walk upstairs. Watching your grandchildren play while you sit. Taking pills to patch what years of neglect broke. Asking for help in ways you never imagined. And all of it preventable. And the irony? Prevention is simple. Simple doesn't mean easy. Simple doesn't mean instant gratification. Simple means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It means choosing water over soda, walking instead of scrolling, cooking vegetables instead of ordering takeout, going to the doctor when nothing feels wrong. It means respecting your body as you would a property you care about, inspecting it regularly, maintaining it, fixing the small issues before they become walls too high to scale. I had everything I ever wanted in life, except the one thing I failed to prioritize, myself. Career? Check. Family? Check. Money? Check. Health? The one thing you cannot buy. Ignored. And now the consequences are daily, tangible, humiliating. I have machines to breathe for me, machines to filter my blood, machines to remind me that my own discipline didn't extend to the most important project I would ever manage. Let me be clear. I am not angry at the world. I am frustrated with myself. And I want to spare you that frustration. I want to make sure that the lessons I learned the hard way don't have to be learned the same way you will. Because you can start today. Right now. You don't need a fancy plan. You don't need a personal trainer, a nutritionist, or a gym membership. You need awareness. You need a commitment to small, consistent acts of care. And you need honesty about the reality. Your body is counting on you, silently, every day, and it will eventually stop listening if you ignore it too long. Here's what I ask of you. Look at your life, look at your habits, and pick one thing you will do differently starting today. Walk for 20 minutes. Eat one vegetable. Book that checkup. Skip the extra drink tonight. Notice the small, imperceptible choices that accumulate into decades of health or decades of regret. Pay attention. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll get to it later. Later is the luxury you may not have. And when you do it, remember this. You are not doing it for fame. You are not doing it for money. You are doing it for the moments you cannot put a price on. The laughter of your children, the curiosity of your grandchildren, the simple pleasure of moving freely, of breathing deeply, of being alive in a body that serves you instead of betrays you. Because if you wait too long, you will have everything else, money, success, accolades, but none of the moments you wanted most. And no machine, no doctor, no deal, no amount of wealth will ever replace those moments once they're gone. And here's the final truth I need you to carry with you. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't pause while you finish that project, save that money, or convince yourself that next Monday you'll start caring about yourself. Life keeps moving, relentlessly, silently, and every day you postpone the care you owe yourself, it adds up. One more skipped walk, one more takeout dinner, one more night staring at a screen instead of stretching. Tiny choices, imperceptible now, but they are building the walls that will one day trap you. I watch the world around me, the grandchildren, the friends, the colleagues who never let health slip. And I see something I didn't see for decades, the simplicity of prevention. It's not complicated. It's not glamorous. It's boring, repetitive, consistent. But it works. You don't need miracles. You just need discipline applied to yourself the same way you apply it to everything else. Your body, your mind, your health. These are the foundations for everything else. Neglect them, and all the other successes in your life are built on sand. I have had to face what money cannot fix. I have had to sit in chairs that do for me what my own body should have done. I have had to accept that decades of deferred care have consequences no negotiation, no check, no deal can erase. And I want you to understand something. This doesn't have to be your story. You can start today. You can choose differently. You can say no to one more convenience, yes to one more walk, one more healthy meal, one more visit to the doctor, one more moment truly present in your own life. That is all it takes. Because at the end of the day, the most valuable currency you have is not money. It's time, movement, breath, presence. It's running across the yard with a laughing child. It's standing on your own 2 feet and not relying on machines, medications, or strangers to carry you through. It's the small, simple moments that define the life you actually live, not the life you think you can afford, or the one you schedule around work. So I leave you with this. Go for the walk today. Open the fridge. Call your doctor. Eat the vegetable. Start small. Start now. Start consistently. Don't wait until tomorrow. Because tomorrow is not promised, and every moment you postpone is a moment spent on regret instead of presence. Take care of your body. It is the only property you truly own. Maintain it, nurture it, respect it. Protect it, and it will protect you. Neglect it, and no amount of wealth, no amount of planning, no amount of ambition can bring back what you lose. Start today and make your story one of life, presence, and the moments that matter most.